back into another one now. If you guys watched last week's episode, it wasn't Joe's fault or Joseph's fault. I swear, it wasn't his fault. We really don't know what happened.
We have a couple theories.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just technology. We'll just blame it on technology. That's the way it seems to usually go, too.
Of
So
course.
We're just going to stick with that. Jumping right into it. Now, the main topic of one of your episodes last week, and I wasn't here last week, so I'm not happy it didn't work, but I'm glad we get to talk about this again.
If any week it happened,
For me, it worked out nice. We've both seen the Odyssey.
Yes.
Great. Everything about it.
Fantastic.
Just absolutely amazing. I loved it. People have mixed feelings on it, and I don't agree with it having mixed feelings. I think it should be a universally loved movie.
Honestly, I do think it's being not hyped up. Not the movie being hyped up. I think the hate is being overblown. Because if you look at the verified rating, the verified audience rating, I should say, on Rotten Tomatoes, that's sitting at a 95, 96. I think it's a lot of review bombing, which you happen to see with certain films that come out every year.
What did it get on Rotten Tomatoes?
The critic score is sitting at I think they're both sitting at 96%.
I mean, I don't trust anything Rotten Tomatoes says ever. Like I'm one of those people who's very anti Rotten Tomatoes because there's been some really good movies that I'm just like, I don't know how you're scoring it like this. So I'm like, okay, what's the audience score look like? That's really
fair.
What I jump more to.
I go to Letterboxd. I look at the star rating on there. That's what helps me determine a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, because I care about what the people, are really like, the people are like, the bulk that are going to see it. I care about that. But there's so much to break down from this movie. I mean, you can literally spend 2 hours talking about this, but it's a half-hour show with other topics. We won't be doing that today, but we really could. I'm going to pull my mic a little bit closer so it's in my shot here. There we go. So, yeah, so much going on. I think one of the first points we have to note out is the cast that was in this movie.
It's huge.
The A-list actors and the amount of money they must have spent just on the cast alone. I mean, I know like the total budget and everything.
Right.
I don't know exactly what they had spent on the casting, just paying cast members, but it's up there. I mean,
it's got to be. But also you think like there's so many actors who are always talking in interviews, whether they're in a Nolan movie or not, they're just like, I want to work with Christopher Nolan. You have actors who haven't been in Nolan movies, like Jennifer Lawrence telling Robert Pattinson, like, "Hey, put a word in for me."
Like,
and
he's
then
pretty good,
exactly. And Matt Damon
she
saying,
still didn't get it.
No,
the worst
exactly.
part.
And Matt Damon talking about how he was going to take a break from acting unless Christopher Nolan called, and sure enough, he did. And now,
that's a fair enough point. Like,
he might end up getting an Oscar nomination.
I'd be extremely shocked if he didn't. I feel like it's going to be very surprising. But I mean. Yeah, we got Tom Holland and Zendaya. I mean, they're a couple that we've seen everywhere through Hollywood for a while now. I mean, Zendaya's having an absolutely insane year. We've talked about that a couple times on a show. She's been in a lot of really good stuff. She was in The Drama.
Great movie.
Really good. I'm trying to remember what else she was in. I know she's been in more that I've seen.
Well, we're going to see her
Euphoria,
next week.
We saw her in that.
Euphoria.
We saw her in Spider-Man. Now she was in this, and she didn't have a ton of screen time. Like, she wasn't like a crazy character.
She was important, though. She was one of the most important parts of the movie. Yeah.
And she also got a perfect from Christopher Nolan, which everybody was like so jealous about because they're like, he never gives those out. So the fact that you got one on your first take is crazy. And Zendaya's just one of those, like, she's one of those actors that like we know is going to be great no matter what role you put her in at this point. And I think the same kind of goes for Tom Holland. I mean, people have mixed feelings with him, but I enjoy everything he's
People did have mixed feelings with his performance in this movie, which I find interesting because I left it thinking it was the best performance he's ever given. And then family and friends I know were both like, I thought he was the weak point in the movie. And I was like, what? I think they have to rewatch and kind of get Peter Parker out of their head,
And that's the thing is like, it's not our first time seeing him in a super serious role.
Exactly.
But it's the first one that I feel like had such a darker tone to it, like almost like a medieval type. It's just that atmosphere. Or however we're setting it. It's the first time we've seen him in like that. So I'm not used to seeing him so dark because, I mean, he's been around for a long time. And when he was a child actor as well. I mean, I can't remember.
It was the
tsunami
movie.
One.
Yeah, I can't. It was the something. And it's got
it was a good movie.
McGregor.
Really good movie.
Yeah.
Gives you anxiety throughout the entire one.
Yes, it does.
But great movie. And I think he's just, people see him as Spider-Man.
That's exactly the thing.
That's the problem.
And he's supposed to be in this movie, this young kid who's trying too hard to be like a man he's not, that he has to grow into it, and that's his arc. And I think people are too closely associating it with Peter Parker.
I think it's a man he'll never be at the end of the day. And I think that's a personal battle for him.
Yes.
Is not that he needs to become that person, it's just that he never will be that
exactly.
person. Like, how do you live up to that name? He won't. you know, and I think that's an internal struggle for him through that movie, which I really like to set. And I have to go watch it a second time.
Yes, that's the first thing I thought.
But the thing is, I want to go down to an IMAX theater. So those of you who are local to the area, you know, around Green Bay, it's a hike to get to an IMAX theater. We don't have one here. As much as I love Marcus Theaters, I really love AMC. Like, we had a lot of them when I lived in New York.
Ooh,
AMC is really nice. And if like, as much as I love Marcus Theaters, I think I would probably have to sign a petition to bring an AMC theater with an IMAX.
Exactly. I just need an IMAX. I need an IMAX so bad.
Yeah, because the AMC stubs is way better than like the Marcus one for the deals and stuff. To be honest, so
you get like 3 movies a month off that, don't you? Yeah.
Where you get one with Marcus, but Marcus also gives you 20% off concessions, if I remember right.
If you order on the app, which is a whole deal.
It's a whole thing. But I had the popcorn bucket. I do, you know, I go like more than once a week to the movies, so this is a thing where it's like I need to, you know, so I definitely need the popcorn bucket. But all this is just an amazing movie. If you haven't seen it, you definitely need to. We do have a clip kind of talking about how they did financially and stuff in the box office. We'll play that and we'll talk a little bit more on it when we get right back.
Christopher Nolan's epic The Odyssey has stormed the box office with global earnings of $264 million, even better than the filmmaker's Oppenheimer debut. The weekend tally marked Nolan's best opening since The Dark Knight Rises in 2012. Few filmmakers alive could pull off such a starry, big-budget adaptation of Homer's epic poem. But in a Hollywood where intellectual property rights rule most hits, Nolan turned one of the world's oldest works of literature into an unlikely summer blockbuster. With a production budget of $250 million, it's among the most expensive R-rated movies ever made, and Universal is spending around $125 million to market it.
Promise me you will come back.
What if I can't?
Absolutely amazing, that line. I mean, we were kind of sitting here talking about it while the video is playing. There's so much to decode from this movie. First one I kind of want to get into is the authenticity. I love how anti-CGI he is. Like, that is like one of the most amazing things to me. People really hated the Cyclops thing, you know, in the cage and everything.
They hated it?
I heard some people hating it, saying it wasn't as good as the 70s version. Because it looks
absolutely not. I thought it was awesome.
I completely disagree with that. And they're like, oh, it doesn't look realistic. Well, Cyclops isn't a real creature, okay? So like, it doesn't look realistic. Neither one should. And I think this was the better version.
Also, I was thinking when I was watching it, we have all these recent special effects in 2020s of a third eye. Like, I'm thinking of Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness specifically. It looks so bad. And he found a way to pull it off. I mean, it was practical, but he just found a way to pull it off that made it feel natural and real. And it worked. I remember there was a shot, and it's just so uncanny, and it works just perfectly.
That's the thing is, it's a third eye. It's not natural. It's not supposed to look natural. So why not kind of like mutilate the entire face and make it look as if it's like a full-on deformity? You know,
that's what I loved about
it. Exactly what he did about it. What else can we jump to? Let's go to I can't believe I'm blanking on her name. She turned them into pigs.
Seriously?
Yeah. So
going that was an amazing scene.
That, I don't know how it wasn't CGI. That is the most crazy part to me. And people weren't believing it. They're like, "There's no way." No,
literally. And the actors saying they're like, "I saw it happening right in front of my eyes," and I was like, "How is this not real?"
Yeah. So it's ridiculous. Very light and easy to mold clay that was on their faces, and they were pulling it, and it's just like it's a ton of different shots. Like it's over and over and over. Like this is hours and hours of sitting in the same seats.
Oh my
gosh. It's just slowly, it's almost like claymation where you're slowly moving it inch by inch, but it's on someone's face while you're doing it. So it's like, because I saw something and they were saying, I don't know the validity of it because it wasn't an actual cast member saying it, but it was like something is like that scene was like one of the longest ones to make in the entire season.
Interesting.
I can kind of see that.
I
just
could
because
too.
So many, and there were somewhere like, I mean, she was like elbow deep
in
someone's mouth.
No,
like, turning
that was crazy.
It was like, how do you make that happen without CGI?
Exactly.
And this is what puts Christopher Nolan at the top of the totem pole for me.
All-time status.
The biggest name if we're going to talk about putting out high-quality products.
Exactly. He's become a brand. I saw somewhere that it was a survey. 51% of people who saw this movie didn't see it for any actor or actress. They saw it because Christopher Nolan's name was on it, and that's just hype you can't buy.
No, not at all. I mean, it's you talk about household names, and it's usually the star of the movie or the show.
Exactly.
But he is, in my opinion, become a household name.
Oh, absolutely.
And he's not even the main character in any of his movies. So it's like, how is your name that big without being the main guy on the screen? It's pretty impressive, and something I don't know. I don't think it ever will be matched, and if it is matched, it's not going to be anytime soon. Yeah. It's going to be a very long time before we get a man like him.
No, he truly is the Spielberg of our generation.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, perfect way to put it. When I see it again, it's going to have to be an IMAX because the picture is so much greater.
Oh my gosh,
you want to talk, because we're running a little long on this. You want to talk a little bit about the arc of, storylines and stuff, and how his perspective changed a little bit.
One of the things Nolan always does is his nonlinear narratives, always jumping around, and it's just such a feat of writing to be able to pull that off with all the information that you're delivering, all the conflict, and having it so seamless for the viewer. And he just delves into it so well. It wouldn't work as well without it, because there's so much that is recontextualized in the third act after he talks to his wife for the first time having returned. I guess spoilers, but it's 3,000 years old, so I won't get into the specific adaptation and things they add onto his arc, but just the way they integrate his feelings about Troy and how that recontextualizes the world. It reminded me a lot of Oppenheimer. Actually, the Trojan horse was the original nuclear bomb in a sense, and I thought that was a very interesting parallel with his previous work. But it's just such a feat, and I remember reading how his son almost challenged him. He was like, you've won an Oscar before, but you haven't won one for writing. Right. And so that felt like that was his goal with this movie. And honestly, I wouldn't be surprised come Oscar season that he brings home the Academy Award for adapted screenplay.
It'd be so well deserved. The biggest takeaway from this, I feel like everybody and this is the thing, people are watching it and taking totally different things from it. And that's part of what I love about cinema. Is people watch the same movie and have totally different takeaways.
I mean, that's art.
For me, and I think this isn't a super unpopular one. It's just how evil, humans can be. Because the big part of this is with the Trojan horse, and this is a story that's been told 1,000 times. Everybody knows the Trojan horse.
Exactly.
You give a gift, and it's such a sign of trust and endurance.
Exactly.
And then you go on to a full-on slaughter.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like
totally unsuspecting.
You totally let them put their guard down, and they accept this gift as a courtesy, and you just take them from 100 to 0. It's a true sense of evil.
Exactly.
And I think that's kind of, from what I take, the main point of this is people are evil, and this is exactly what you're looking at.
Yeah, I know he said in an interview that the whole point of the movie 3,000 years ago, it was important, and now it's important, is that the trust between strangers is what holds our society together.
Yeah. And I think it's something that, in my opinion, is pretty much lost in society. So
agreed, unfortunately.
Times like this, I think it's a perfect movie to throw out there. Now, we've talked about this for almost 14 minutes, and we could keep talking for another 14, but we also have the Avengers Doomsday trailer. We're going to take a quick break, and when we return, we'll discuss that a little bit. And we are back with another episode of the Weekend Wrap here. Now, we have so much more to jump into, and we did an entire half-hour show on this. I feel like we could keep talking about it week to week.
Endlessly.
Yeah, there could be an entire CTV show here on this platform where it's just talking Marvel, and it would still have plenty of content every single week.
Absolutely.
But we do not have that, and I don't have the time for that. So let's go into Avengers Doomsday, something that we're hearing more about, and it's hard to not talk about it because
it is.
Week to week we get so many new things to talk about,
especially with Comic-Con happening right now. All the news is coming out.
We get a whole ton more. So we have the new trailer, lot to decode from it, and I think it's best just to show it quick and then talk about it after. Let's just show you guys the trailer. So, I'm trying to think of where to start with that trailer. There's
You start at the
a
end.
lot. Yeah, we might as well start at the end because that's what everyone's thinking about right now, I'm sure, if they haven't seen it.
If they hadn't done all those minute teasers back in December, I feel like that ending would have garnered more of a reaction. We already know Steve Rogers is coming back. What are you doing? That's not, everyone knows.
Because, well, we don't know that Steve Rogers is coming back. We know that Captain America is coming back, is what they said. And this was, we'll jump right into this. A lot of people think it's Hydra Cap, or is it? I think that's what they call him, Hydra Cap. I'm trying to remember. Yeah, Hydra Cap, which is the Hydra kind of variant of him, an evil version of Captain America.
I do not subscribe to this theory.
I was kind of like, okay, it kind of makes sense. But the fact that he's holding Mjolnir is like, oh, it doesn't work because Hydra Cap would never be worthy of holding that hammer. So
I saw another theory that it's Loki in disguise using Steve Rogers' form to gain their trust.
I love that theory.
And because he's the god of stories now, so he'd be worthy. I thought it was an interesting theory.
Because we do see Loki holding like the TVA card, which is supposed to, I imagine, be a flashback. So how far back
because he's not in the TVA anymore.
And the lighting is similar to like the house that he was in the teaser. It's like the same kind of lighting. Like there's like a dust kind of part.
Well, if you look closely, they're in space in that last scene. They're on the spaceship, with I'm assuming the Fantastic Four.
Right.
Yeah.
Because Thor had a big connection with the Guardians of the Galaxy. But I don't know what we're looking at as far as them being a part of this movie. I don't think
the Fantastic. The Guardians. We know nothing right now.
I don't know if they might not even be a mention at all.
Probably. Honestly, everything seems so located on Earth. I doubt. Yeah. Nothing.
Right. And I wouldn't be shocked because Chris Pratt had some other things going on, like the whole Mario thing. I think that was at the same time as the filming.
That makes sense.
So that might not have worked out. But I'm not sure. A lot to take away from the whole crew. I don't know if I have it in here. I don't. So, kind of going to this whole divided team. I mean, there's so many hands in the pot as well.
Oh my gosh.
Is there anybody out there that really likes the Falcon, the Captain America Falcon?
I like him as a character. They haven't done him right.
He's such a brat in this series. Like, I like him as a character, but like they made him unlikable.
Brave New World was so bad. Yeah, it was so bad. Horrible. The Disney Plus show wasn't too bad. It was perfectly middle of the road.
It was there.
Egon's better than the movie, though. I will say.
Yeah,
I hated the movie.
We go into that and. I think the funniest part is because like he's kind of mutually hated by like most of like not the cast, but like the characters within this series.
Yeah.
They all kind of mutually hate him because of the stance he's taking on the Avengers and not allowing the Thunderbolts to be the new Avengers.
Yeah.
Going into that it's funny to see that only Ant-Man is standing next to him. It's like it's just you and Ant-Man. You probably should join the numbers here because you're so out of your depth in like what you can actually fight here. You just accept defeat and join the Thunderbolts. I mean,
literally. And even then, they are getting so carried by Sentry, which interestingly, they're hiding from us in the trailer, which is interesting and definitely on purpose. But it's so, we don't see any heavy hitters. We don't see Doctor Strange. We don't see Spider-Man. We don't see Captain Marvel. None of the people with actual like planetary powers, I don't know a better way to put it, are absent, which I also think is on purpose.
Well, a popular theory is that basically they're all going to die. And this is going to turn into a magic versus magic for Secret Wars, which
like Battle World.
I don't see being unlikely. The chances of the Scarlet Witch coming back or Wanda is very likely because they gave her the chance to come back when they did Agatha All Along.
Oh, I didn't watch that.
Yeah, so Agatha All Along, one of the tarot cards for her is the rebuilding tower or whatever it's called.
Okay.
She was crushed by a tower, so they rebuilt the tower, she'd be fine.
Right,
interesting. So that is a very easy... Marvel sets up these blocks from time to time where it's like, okay, if we need to bring this person back
we have
for the storyline, we now have an excuse to. There's their excuse to. I think Secret Wars is going to go into like Loki being a big player because Loki's got a magic aspect, same as Doctor Strange and Wanda. Could you imagine that trio fighting, Doctor Doom?
It'd be interesting
and kind of like pulling together a whole thing, like magic versus magic. I think is really what Secret Wars is going to come down to.
I'm worried about Loki though.
Yeah.
The thing is, Loki is too powerful to not take care of the threat immediately. So just story-wise, I feel like they have to get him almost out of the way. Like they might have to the Thanos type kill Loki in the first 10 minutes. They might have to do it again with Doom.
Right. Unless they really want to amp up Doom's powers and have him literally find his way to meet Loki in person and like be almost an equal battle.
Well, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah,
but
where
have to
Loki's
do it
like,
quick.
okay, I need to like swallow my pride and just kind of like go out and, you know, get some of these big hitters that I know are still out there in the world of magic. So that could always work. There's a million possibilities. I'm trying to think of what else we saw from the beginning of that already. I mean, we see the X-Men are playing a big factor in this, which I love because I'm an X-Men fan ahead of an Avengers fan any day of the week. I grew up on X-Men.
I like the Fox X-Men far more than the MCU.
A lot of times they did not do the X-Men films right. Still mad about Gambit, one of my all-time, like he's my favorite, you know, from the X-Men series. I loved him through the comics and stuff. Loved him through the animated series and stuff.
Fair.
Channing Tatum's not the right choice.
He's not. He is not.
It is such a slap in the face to that character. It's just, it's too goofy. It doesn't work.
The whole joke in Deadpool was there's a reason he wasn't cast, and then they put him in Avengers, and it was like, what are you doing?
Yeah. So I mean, I don't know if we have confirmation on like Deadpool or Wolverine being a part of this film.
Could be.
Totally could be.
Could be.
I don't remember the cast list. It's such a long cast list. You know, it
rivals the Odyssey. That's for sure.
It really does. But you know what? We do have some more to talk about with Deadpool. So we're 23 minutes in. We're quickly running out of time here. We're going to cut to a break and we'll be right back. And we are back with the weekend wrap. Now let's jump right into it because we are so quickly running out of time. Now let's jump right into it. We were talking about Deadpool, and we do now have confirmation from Ryan Reynolds that Deadpool 4 is in the works.
Yes.
Deadpool's not my favorite. I'm not the biggest fan of Deadpool.
Okay.
I'm not a huge fan of breaking the fourth wall. That's my thing.
Really?
I'm not the
Honestly,
fan of that.
I don't agree with you, but I respect that take because I can understand the thought behind it.
Yeah, to me, it's just it's okay. I mean, he does it better than a lot of other people do.
Yeah.
So there's that side of it, but for me, it's just such an unnatural type of thing.
I imagine it's a like breaking the immersion type thing.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, that's
so
fair.
Like, sure, whatever, it's there. And I also have a deep hatred now because I'm a huge Wolverine fan. Like I was talking about, which I love, you know, X-Men. I think that the way they, you know, ended his storyline in Logan was the most perfect way they could have possibly done it.
Logan's my favorite superhero movie. I love that movie.
And then we were just like,
they should not have brought him back.
Scratch that ending. We're gonna bring him back because we need more money. So I have a deep hatred for Deadpool versus Wolverine, but I do have a lot of respect for the variants of Deadpool they did. That was a very like, you know, comedic break. You know, in a way. I think they did that well. I wish we could keep talking about this. We're running out of time so quickly today. But yeah, we don't have confirmation on either of them in there. I feel like it'd be weird with all the hype around Deadpool and Wolverine to not have that duo make an appearance
with the X-Men too. With the X-Men, I have a feeling they'll be in the movie at least.
And it's gonna be some like comedic joke break too, where it's like, oh, let's break up like a serious situation. And those
it will be interesting how they handle Deadpool in an Avengers setting.
Right, because we haven't seen that type of you know, acting in there. So it's going to be a weird one. Let's jump right into Daredevil. The Defenders are making a comeback in the Marvel Universe.
Yes.
Daredevil just wrapped up, or Daredevil Born Again, I should say, wrapped up season 3 of filming. And we do know that we have a lot of the Defenders coming back. Jessica Jones will return again. Luke Cage will return again. And I don't know if we have confirmation on Iron Fist, but
I think he was also on the set. I think there's some pictures, but yeah.
So we don't, I mean, I saw something that he was on the set. Whether or not he's actually in the series could be a different story because I mean the four of them did get pretty close through Defenders and stuff.
Very true. Yeah,
we'll see how that plays out. That character, you know, for him being such a martial arts core thing, I don't think that series did him justice as they should have.
I never watched the show. I'll be honest. I heard it was not
any
great.
Of them, that's the one to not watch.
Exactly.
So,
yeah.
Then our last one, we're going into the new Dune movie. Those are always big hits. The first two were great. And this is releasing the same day as Doomsday. So we have a Barbenheimer situation where we are going into Doomsday. And we'll see how the box office, that's going to be a crazy weekend again.
It will.
I mean, it's
I'm seeing
the
Dune
amount
first.
of money.
I expect it to be much better.
I'm probably watching Dune first. I think I'm gonna do them back to back.
I want to try if it's possible.
I did Barbenheimer back to back.
So did I. Good, so. But that was also the summer, and I was in college and not.
Well, this is because I have family visiting through the holidays and stuff.
Oh, nice.
So it's like gonna be a chaotic just month of like my family, the girlfriend's family. It's gonna be a busy one, but we have so much more to talk about. I mean, when we come back next week, we're gonna talk stuff about the Batman 2, the new Nightmare on Elm Street, the Hunt for Gollum, whole bunch of fun movie stuff. We'll catch you guys next week. Thanks for watching.